So thank you for coming to the lightning talks. This is me, your host for today. I'm not going to present anyone, but I have a list of speakers who are going to come and give you short 5 minutes presentation about various topics, and we hope that at least a few of them inspire you to learn more about the topic. Just before we start, a big thank you to everyone who contributed to the DEFCON website. It's free, open source on GitHub. If any conference organizer want to use it for their conferences, please feel free. And a reminder to everyone that you can still vote for the sessions that you attended on the website itself. So please go and give a feedback to the sessions that you attended and what you liked. The voting will close at 5:30 today. The first presenter is Ish.
Hi guys, I'm here to talk about Netiquette. Netiquette basically is a combination of 2 words, internet and etiquette. You know what is etiquette? It's about being polite, about the way you behave in, let's say, society. And etiquette on the internet is the same. The way you behave, the way you interact with people on the internet. And netiquette is not a new thing. It has been around since the existence of the internet itself. For example, an RFC was proposed many years ago by someone working at Intel, I think. And in that RFC, the person explained how rude it is when somebody, you write an email to somebody with long text explaining your problem, explaining what you want to do, and you get only a short reply, okay. So that's kind of frustrating, especially if you're working in a very corporate environment. You expect to get concise answers. Okay for which paragraph? And not okay for what? And why okay and why not okay? Such kind of things are very important. And at least you reply an email and say, thank you for the information. Dear Mr. Antil, something like that. But some people don't do it. And this is the example of an email that I received last week. I, of course, blurred everything. The okays, it's hidden in that black line, but there were several people in this email thread. The email was long, but the one person who replied only said, okay, and that's very bad. There was an article in Linux Journal, I think it's last week on 2nd of April or something like that. And Linus Torvalds said this line, I absolutely detest modern social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's a disease. It seems to encourage bad behavior, and that's true. Because if you, right after the football match between Liverpool and Manchester, if you go on Facebook, it's hell. Everyone is swearing at each other. And I don't want to see polluted, dirty stuff on my wall. They will post all sorts of memes. There is a meme guy here, I think. They will post all sorts of memes talking bad things about their friends. And these kind of things happen on Facebook. And it's a really turn off. You can read it. I will leave you with this. So thank you guys, and I hope you will try to bring some netiquette in your workplace and in your personal life. Thank you.
Moving on to the next speaker. Sandhya is coming to talk about variable forms. So.
a look in this sentence, we have to download 3 different font files. And as a result, web developers found that for every font that a designer added to a site, it had an impact on the performance and overall experience to the end user. So in September 2016, the OpenType font variations was publicly announced. And variable font is basically one font file, but act as multiple fonts, where you might have had 10 different font weights, for example, in separate files. All of this data now exists in one file. That means you can have bold, medium, light, and italics all in one file. So variable fonts are able to exist because of font interpolation. And this is a simplified example of interpolation. The amount of points that create the outline of a character stays the same, and it is the position that changes. So here we have a weight axis. So instead of having specific weights to a font, for example, light 200, regular 400, and bold 900, they now all exist along one axis. And what I think makes them really special is that you don't only have those individual master weights, but you have access to all the values in between. That because of the axes that are interpolated. So any numbers between 100 and 900 can be used. The interpolation doesn't apply to a single axis at a time. It applies to all a combination of them. So you can have a wide bold font, or you can have a narrow thin font. If we add the kilobytes of the narrowest font to the boldest font, it comes up to 404 kilobytes, which is a bit more than twice that of the variable one. And you do not have the flexibility or additional weights that you have in the variable version. So once your single font file is loaded, all your styles are loaded. So you save on a number of network requests as well. So here I'm playing with the different axes provided by the Decovar variable font. You can find and play with various variable fonts at bfonts.com or Axis Praxis, which is like a playground. And you can also use the support from the Fonts tab located on the right-hand side of the page inspector in your developer's tool. This is a demo by Mandy Michel using Decovar, and it is an excellent demonstration of the capabilities and opportunities that variable font provide us with. And it is mostly because variable fonts can have interpolated range of values that we can create such fluid variations. Integrating a variable font is pretty straightforward if you're familiar with the add font phase. The new CSS font variation settings is used to control the values for axes. Each of Decovar's axes have a default value from 0 to 1000, and here we have a value of 400 for the inline axis, which is referenced by the 4 characters BLDA, which is defined by the font designer. Now, if you want to support older browsers, you can make use of the CSS feature detection to check if variable fonts are supported, and if they are, you can load the styles we need, and we can use our standard fonts for a fallback. So a variable font that I found really interesting is the movement one. So the typeface was inspired by dance movements. The body of a dancer or the hand of a painter can be seen as creative tools. And by tracking a dancer's movement and using the paths as reference, the letters found their shapes. So support for variable fonts is already pretty good. Most major browsers and design software already support variable fonts, and the remaining are soon to follow. So in theory, you can start experimenting or start using it today. And every font has different axes and ranges. So if you don't know already what capabilities your font has, you can drag and drop it in the great tool called Wakamai Fondu, and you can even generate the CSS for it and use it afterwards. So that's it for me. This presentation was brought to you by Sketch Font.
while we are setting up. My name is Mike. Can you hear me well at the back?
Yes.
Yeah, have a pretty loud voice. Hey, come on. My talk will be about mash up the little things. So, what is the talk about? It's about becoming an expert programmer. And as seen on Games of Thrones. Who's excited about Games of Thrones?
Stop.
Oh, that's okay. Anyway, I'm gonna spoil a bit about Games of Thrones. So, big disclaimer: I'm not an expert, but I'm not a beginner also. So, the talk overview would be a condense of some suggestions from several sources in no specific order. So, let's get started. Okay, first suggestion. The only way to treat disease is to understand disease. What does that mean? Simply is to practice makes perfect. If you want to be an expert programmer, you need to practice a lot. You need to be in contact with the material as often as you can. You need to try and fail often. Failing is okay. Understand the language under various circumstances. Memorize as you go. Suggestion number 2, take a breather. I guess we'll remember that scene. What does it mean? Also known as stay the beat away from burnouts, which is very important for us. So the brain needs time to assimilate. In other words, as us geeks knows, to defragment. Need short bursts of information followed by assimilation, which works best. Need to lie down and cool down sometime. And this helps us see things from a different perspective. And let's go for suggestion number 3. WTF. Ask questions, which is very important. No one is all-knowing, no one knows everything. So even as an expert programmer, an intermediate programmer, we need to ask ourselves questions. This helps us grasp, get a better scope of the problem to solve, and not just be a dead walker that's just doing things without understanding why we should be doing it. Suggestion number 4, zigzag. I just remember our dear friend here, Rickon. Code in another language once in a while. It is perfectly okay to acquire knowledge, not just from our language of choice. And this helps us learn new techniques, paradigms, and perspectives. Suggestion number 5, never truly AFK. We remember our dear friends here who was away from King's Landing for a while. So we need to always think like a programmer, wherever we are. Try to always keep in mind that as we are seeing the world, see it from a programmer's perspective. But there's also a disclaimer here, not advisable when we're taking a breather. Suggestion number 6, it's okay to be wrong sometimes, like him. And we need to know how to accept positive feedback. We need to know how to distinguish from good and troll feedbacks. We need to accept good feedback and work on it. And let's try not to be trolls also. Number 7, some people are just jerks. Like our dear king here. Rest in peace. So, spoiler alert, by the way. We don't need to get on the drama train. We witness it all over social networks, especially on Twitter. One of the questions we hear a lot on Twitter is, my programming language is better than yours, or I mean, some people say it. And let's try not to be jerks. Suggestion number 8, beware of the many-faced God. In other words, break free from the imposter syndromes. Just be yourselves, that's all. We might be inspired by other speakers, we might like other speakers, but let's try to be our own selves. Suggestion number 9, kiss. Simple and clean rule the day. That was my reaction, by the way, when there was that scene. We need to love to kiss, and kissing is wonderful. Simple and clean code is such a joy to the debugger's eyes. Could be us. Number 10, right place and right time. Participate in events. We are no more in the 80s or 90s where we used to code in our parents' basement, attend and speak at events. You never know when you witness a whole house being wiped out. Rest in peace phrase. Suggestion number 11, sprinkle some love and fun. You only live one season. Enjoy what you do. No need No need going on a path that doesn't spark joy to you. Be passionate, have fun, share your love. And that's all, folks. And then everyone died. The end.
Yes, start, please. Yesta is going to go about comments.
Hello guys. So I'll talk about importance of comments. So there is a cliche that has been around lots of years ago, like good code is self-documented. Is that true? Yes. But does it stop you from commenting your code? No. So why? Simply because comments are not just for code. They can document important programming information such as author, date, license, and copyright details. Next, comments are not only for programmers. So there are laymen around, they don't understand your code, they won't go deep in the code. So they just want to say what this piece of code is doing. So just a comment, they will understand it. Next is easier collaboration with team members. That's really important. So to verify that I write a code in my personal preference and my team members don't understand what I'm writing, they will simply waste time trying to understand what I just code. So it won't be efficient at workplace. Next, most of the time it takes around 75% to maintain code. So comments help to read code easily, but it's not for others' sake, but for your future sake. And we know about TypeScript. So there are specialized comments allow tools like JSDoc, JavaDoc, APIDoc to automatically generate professional and consistent document for the program. Next is there are companies that requires programmers to comment their code. Google has programming style guides that specify how to write comments. These include popular programming languages like Java, JavaScript, and C++. And these are the bad comments that I found on the internet. They are hilarious, like this code sucks, you know it and I know it. They make you write it against my will, but guys, we are at a professional place and do it in your own project, but not at workplace. Some people might just get pissed off, and that won't make their day, and your day also. So next is good comments. It's nice to see good comments and bring a smile. So that's it. Summary: codes tell you how, comment tell you why. This is it. Thank you.
Clockwise.
The mean guy.
Hello everybody. My name is Stefan. I'm the mean guy. So I'm going to talk about article setting. Anybody know what article setting is? Nobody? A little bit? Yes, cool. So I have a good news and a bad news. Good news, Shrek is happy because there has been an amendment in the article setting that memes will not be banned, but it will be amended. It will fall into the category of parody. But the bad news is internet is still fucked. It will hopefully not, but it might turn slowly into North Korea. I don't know. So Article 13, it explicitly says that big tech companies, big tech firms will be responsible for the content they have on the platform. Music and creators agrees as compensation will be fairer. But most people say user-generated content will be destroyed. Google say, by the way, it will harm Europe creative and digital industries. People who drafted the Article 13 probably don't know anything about the internet. Article 13 is a bigger directive of the directive on copyright in the digital single market. According to the EU, it is their purpose to spread money more evenly between content creators and the platform. The argument, big platforms makes loads of money by hosting other people's content on the platform, but it is not funneling back enough cash to the original creators. The idea is to make sure that platforms have licenses for any copyrighted content they want to host. No license, no online, it won't be online in the first place. So, how do they tend to do this? There's a gray zone, by the way. There's a gray zone. So, what happens if you share a video on YouTube from another publisher that is not originally your content? Who is the one to blame, you or YouTube? Technically, with Article 13, it will force big platforms to be legally responsible for any copyright infringement on their platform. How are they going to do that? With upload filters. You know, the usual machine learning and AI stuff. Well, now I cannot upload my 10 seconds lip sync Taylor Swift on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Very sad. So, people who don't like this law, you get Tim Berners-Lee. Don't worry, he's not familiar with Bruce Lee, but he's a founder of World Wide Web. Mozilla Foundation, Electrical Frontier Foundation, MIT Media Lab, and they look happy, but actually they're not. These are the intellectual property lawyers of Europe. And the most important critic, me. Because I like memes, cat videos on the internet, and I also care about the future of the internet. Well, if EU enforces its law strictly, I'm dead, you're dead, the internet is dead. So, on that terrible disappointment, ladies and gentlemen, let's see how to make your own t-shirt. Thank you.
Well, next speaker, please come.
Let's talk about the white t-shirt and have fun. Thanks. Absolutely. Okay, so the elements that you guys will be needing in order to make DIY t-shirts are t-shirts, an inkjet printer, and transfer papers. So there are two types of transfer papers depending on the color of the fabrics. You have a transfer paper for light color fabrics and dark color fabrics. You can buy these papers at printing places. I bought mine at Lucine, Rosil, and it cost me around 100 rupees. The best fabric to print your t-shirts are the 100% cotton, especially because you're gonna be using high temperature, so you don't want to burn your fabric. So let's talk about transfer paper for light colored fabric. There are very simple steps. You need to get your artwork and invert it, mirror it, because you'll be printing it, and after that you place the artwork directly on the fabric. You iron it. Don't worry if after ironing it you find that there are bits and pieces that remain on the paper. Just stick it back and iron it. Now, depending on the size of the paper, normally an A4 you iron it around 3 minutes. But if it's a small paper, just the minutes is going to be less. Okay, and that's it. After, all you have to do is get an artwork, mirror it, print it, place it on the fabric, iron it, peel it off, and that's it for the light colored t-shirt. Second is about the dark colored fabric. That one is a little bit different because the papers are different. So step number one, keep your artwork but do not reflect it or mirror it. Why? The difference is when you're using a light colored transfer paper, the white spaces are never going to be transferred. But if you're using a color transfer paper, everything white is going to be transferred. Why? Because this paper is different. You're going to peel it like a sticker and then iron it and peel it off. So get your artwork, do not reflect it, print it using an inkjet printer. Cut the white space you do not want, peel it off like a sticker, place it on your t-shirt. When you're going to buy that transfer paper for the dark colored fabric, they're going to give you a grease paper, which you're going to apply on the artwork. Never, never, ever use your iron on the print, on the artwork. It's going to distort it and burn it, and you're going to ruin your fabric and your t-shirt. After ironing it back and forth, you're going to remove the grease paper, and that's it. Your t-shirt is done. These are the t-shirts that I did for Asian Eye, and you can also, I also did a bag just to show you that you can just do anything you want with the transfer paper and the white fabric. And for those who are going to hesitate about doing your DIY t-shirt and printing, etc., there is a very nice and cool website called teamonline.mu. Just go on it, customize a t-shirt. These are the guys who sponsored our amazing DevCon t-shirt this year. So that's it. That would be all.
So, Prithvi. First disclaimer, my name is Prithvi, not it's almost normal as you did. Can you hear me? Yes. So I'm going to speak about RMS, commonly known as Little Mauritius Stallman, commonly known as RMS. So normally I use copyright license for every slide I do, so I'm not going to talk about it much. So I use LaTeX as background for my PDF and use the Common Creative license to say that this slide you can copy it, give it to everybody else and share it. So normally who I am, normally I'm a user of Slackware. You can see find me on Twitter at @ZColdPayer, and nobody ignores about that because there's a problem with this website, this platform, and I work as a meteorological services, so don't speak to me about meteor today. And I'm also active in many user groups, so I like to talk a lot about the free software and libre software. So this is the main topic today. So maybe just skip all of them. So see. So who is RMS? RMS is he's an old guy. Since 1970, he graduated from MIT. He's a hacker, great hacker, I can say, and he founded the Free Software Foundation.
Forgetting the picture.
It's on internet because the pictures are mine, so that's why I don't put those pictures on my slide. So because it's Creative Commons, so
What you guys ready?
yeah.
Oh.
So normally there's a guy who at first told me that I pray at this I have photo of this guy. I don't know what type, and he's telling me that I pray to him every day. He's smiling, and yeah. So you can see that he resembles me a bit. Long hairs, long beard, shirts. So, there was other things also that where he resembles me. So he's a person who is normally used as a free software. So free software is software that you can copy, you can give up others, tell them to share or even share. So it is like how many of you cook food? So how do you learn to cook food? YouTube. And do you share your recipes with other people or just give it? No. So why you give it to others for free? So this is one of the reasons about copyleft. So you give it to others. Maybe they improve it. You like their improvement, so you want to have it. It is sharing, free sharing. So this is more or less about copyleft. Whereas copyright, you have to pay someone. You have to ask for permission. You have to go to the government to be able to use his product. So this is a reverse of copyright. And well, he gave birth. So gave birth the GNU public license, which is commonly used and called as HPL. It is the first copyleft license in 1989. And how many use free software? Everyone. So what he did? He has a bachelor in physics. Well, we both physics students, but not from Harvard, from the University of Mauritius. So he later enrolled at MIT. He was AI lab. It's an AI lab. I don't know if there's a joke commonly here. So let's the internet. No. So how did AI? He started writing this. So who was used this? So and from there he created the Emacs. So it was mentioned in the video before. Do you use Emacs or do you use V? Yeah. So on you. So we should get out maybe. So I have an image of. So this is Storman. This is a guy from Microsoft, and they are going to maybe kill him or something, but they escaped because he was too strong for them. So maybe so this is how crazy RMS is, and people assume how he is. Yeah.